All right, I am live on YouTube. I don't think I've been live on YouTube but once in my life. So I'm excited about this. Um, which I know it's going to take a while to really um, build up an audience here like I have on IG. Yeah, learning new things. So I know I'm probably not going to have a bunch of people here until I get more people gathering, but okay, what am I doing? I am embroidering today. Let's see. I am making a custom sweater, y'all. A custom sweater. Here's my letters. I'm almost done with the R in my freedom sweater. I got two people here. I'm so excited. I know it's gonna take a while for me to build up an audience, y'all. That's the hi. That's the sad part, y'all, is learning a new platform. But I got to, y'all. I gotta, in order to keep my what I've built over in 4 years on Instagram and how they're, threatening to take that away from me. It's just it's crazy. So I just posted my a reel, not a reel, it's called a short here. I just posted a short, a little US history that I just posted about. So we'll check that out. But I appreciate you guys following me over here on YouTube. I'm going to try to do more over here, but I got to get the word out on Instagram so that people will follow me over here. I had maybe I had quite a few people come over so far. Not as many as I would like, but they're coming, and I'm gonna start doing more lives over here and more teaching over here. We just did our land, how to buy land, y'all. How to buy land in the US. We just had that on Thursday. It went well. I've been getting all the reviews. My husband teaches that class, and people said it was just so beneficial to them, because that's one of our missions is we don't want to just talk about our land. We want to help other people get land, so we'll talk more about that here on YouTube and, why it's so important for us to. When I saw that statistic that we only own, African Americans only own about 1% of rural land, I was shocked. I was like, are you kidding me? And most of us know why that is. It's systemic racism and what was done to our people. Love your family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here on YouTube. And, we have to constantly teach ourselves new things. I've been doing this all my life, y'all. I've taught myself so much, taught myself how to run a business, taught myself how to homeschool my kids, you know, um, Reggie and everything he has learned to teach, he learned how to get our family out of debt, you know. So learning YouTube shouldn't be that hard. So I'm excited to be over here, and hopefully more people will follow me over here so I can have more of an audience when I go live. But yeah, we just did that land class and it was awesome. The recording is available. There is a link on my IG as well as my TikTok account. If you're on either one of those platforms, you can go in and see the actual. I'm embroidering here, y'all. You could see the. Oh, I thought I had enough thread. I don't think I'm gonna have enough thread. You can see the link where you can purchase the recording if you want to get that. But yeah, I'm excited to be over here, and I'm kind of looking around and trying to find my way. I think I might have to do more shorts because I think when you post actual videos, you have to do some editing, and I don't know, I have a toddler. And so I don't know if I have that type of time, like right now with editing videos. So I'll probably be putting a lot of shorts out. And the shorts are different than reels because they're only 60 seconds. Reels gives you 90 seconds. So I'm going to have to learn how to summarize and talk, you know, I'm going to have to talk more faster. faster here. I'm looking at my thread, making sure that looks okay. How can you watch the land? Yeah, you can. There's a link. You can get the recording. TikTok, I have that link. I'm gonna see how I could link it here on YouTube. But there's also on TikTok, there's a link tree, and as well as Instagram, there's a link tree where you can get the recording. So I'm excited about that, y'all. I'm excited about it because anytime somebody gets that knowledge of buying land, it just empowers you. It stirs you up. Because I remember the first time we went to the mountains and I fell in love. It was in Angel Fire, New Mexico, and oh my God, I fell in love with the mountains and I wanted to move right away. And we were hustling in Florida and had a lot of debt and just graduated college, and we just couldn't afford it. And so we mapped out a plan on how we would get to be where we are today on 46 acres here in Montana. Um, but yeah, it was tough, y'all. But this is why we like teaching the land class because it stirs you up. You learn what the process looks like to get land because getting land is not like buying a house. There's so much you got to look for, y'all. You're talking about raw land that doesn't have a well. Sometimes it does. Septic, all of those things, electric. Not having knowledge could cost you a lot of money. So that class is about 2.5 hours long. It's definitely there available for you. Um, Whereas I'm partial to videos where folks just turn on the camera. Partial to people who turn on the camera and real talk anyway. The content that has produced aligns too many colonized for me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know how to do all of that editing, if you have to put a video together and then edit it. So I'll probably just be going live a lot here as well as shorts. So I have to do like shorts and because until I can get a production team, I actually have a guy that can edit videos for me, but every time he edits for me, I'm paying him money. So I have to pay him, which I absolutely want to do. But I just think for now I don't really have production time like that. Having a toddler is a lot of work. Homeschooling is a lot of work. So when I have time to put in put in a short, I'll put in shorts and then go live when I have free time, when the baby is napping, sleep at night. I can put in some time. Um, I can talk more here on YouTube to try to build up my following here, because of the censorship. Censorship is bad. I'm sure it's bad here too. It's bad everywhere. But yeah, the censoring is really tough. It's like you really don't have freedom of speech. You can't talk about certain things, um, and we have to talk in codes so that we don't get flagged or shadow banned or have our content taken down. So yeah, but yeah. So I said, glad to see you on YouTube. Yeah, I know. I spent time on Instagram. I got that account up to about 300K, and then they just reminded me that hey, you don't own nothing here. Like we could take this account. So I'm like, yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to build multiple platforms, y'all. I got 250,000 followers on TikTok, and TikTok algorithm keeps changing so much. I can't keep up with all of that, and you're jumping through hoops, and my heart goes out to the folks that are on there who need to make money on there. There are people on there that really that's income for them, and it's like they are working so hard, y'all. And black creators, y'all, make up these platforms. The talent, the dances, the artistry, everything about these platforms. Isn't that like it isn't that even in history? Everything has been built on the backs of Africans. And so you see a nation that our people built. and to see the conditions of our people when you look at economics and you look at the wealth gap, and then you go onto these platforms which I call social plantations. um it's like we're working hard to get paid, and I've never been monetized on here because I talk about social issues. They told me from the giddy up, you ain't getting nothing because you talk about injustices, and I'm like, oh well, oh well. But this is why financial freedom is important, because when you don't have financial freedom, you may be tempted to do what they tell you to do in order to get the check. You know what I'm saying? And you'll do what you have to do in order to get that check. And so, um, yeah, it's hard, y'all. And someone that says, yes, I got mad at Insta. What your family's achieved with God is amazing. Yes, all glory to the Most High. Um, don't worry, YouTube definitely got next. But I'ma just talk in code as well until the algorithm catch on to my new my new lingo. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure censorship is everywhere. I didn't come back here thinking, well, I'll be able to talk boldly. I still understand that, hey, there's going to be people trolling you. There are going to be people that are reporting you, and so you got to be careful about what you say. Um, But yeah, it's like that. It's like that out in society. You go work on somebody's job, you got a code switch, you got to think about it. Code switching, y'all. Think about our ancestors. They created a language. And I was even thinking about this yesterday and how, they would sing songs on the Underground Railroad. Certain songs had meanings when they were escaping. They had codes, they had code language, code songs. And some people debate this history about the quilts, but the quilts also carried a map to freedom. And some people say, oh, that's not true. That's not been proven, blah, blah, blah. But they said some of the quilts were used on the Underground Railroad. And so we've always had to talk in codes. We got to talk in codes on social media. And people have been telling me, hey, there's other platforms, Pam, you should try this platform, that platform, and which I am. I am going to check out. Someone said there was a Black-owned platform that I definitely need to check out. But it's the thing is, how are we going to get everybody to go? Everybody needs to be willing to go. And it's hard because there's not a lot of unity among our people. We are so busy tearing each other down, y'all. Look at all this stuff with what Club Shay Shay, where you got the comedians mad at each other after they've been on that show. Look at the rappers right now. What's the Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj? I can't even say, I don't even know her name like that. Then you got Cardi B just came out with a song. I don't know who she talking to. Why are we fighting each other? And especially people like that are worth millions and millions of dollars. Like, why aren't they pooling that together for economic change, for change? Y'all, we still don't own schools. We don't own no banks, no hospitals. We got Black women 3 to 4 more times more likely to die in childbirth. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Like, we got all these people fighting. We fighting each other, and they winning. You know what I'm saying? Someone says, that's why I never monetize either. I love your content. Don't get discouraged. Thank you. Looking forward to buying your land seminar. Awesome. Yes, it's available. It's available for purchase. I hope and if you have questions, email us and we will answer you. But yeah, it's a 2.5 hours. So, it's very informative, very detailed. We show you what it took us. So you see pictures of our actual of our land and the septic tank and the electricity, all of that's in that webinar. And we tell you what it cost us to develop. Roberto Blake is awesome YouTube advice on. Oh, okay. Let me remember that. Roberto Blake has awesome YouTube advice about monetizing. He always say, don't let anyone let any one platform own you and you and your content creator work. Oh, I know. That's why I'm saying, like, I can't just put all my eggs in one basket. Definitely got to spread it out. Fact, and they love the low key orchestrated. Yep. Yes, 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 yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're fighting. You got the Club Shay Shay guy. And guess what? He's making so much money on YouTube from posting this stuff, right? He's getting paid. He's getting paid, and all of our people are fighting, and yet we don't have any political power. We don't have any economic power. We are still sending our kids into the school to be taught by the enemy, and they're teaching our children all day white history. And so, y'all, this is what I really want to talk more about. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't silence me. I know I'm gonna get some trolls like I do on Instagram. But hopefully I will be able to talk more about, just freedom, 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 freedom. I'm planning on starting up our online school again this fall for kids with teachers who are qualified, that look like us, that are that love to teach. Our pioneer freedom school. So our children can learn our history. And our children can have teachers that care about them and look like them. And those things are important. And I was thinking about that this morning. Like, we got all these people fighting, and we're so distracted. We are so distracted. And I just posted a video. I just posted a short. I got to get used to saying that it's not a reel, it's a short, about New York history. Today in US history, in 1712, a group of enslaved Africans revolted. And it was easier for them to revolt because at the time in New York, there were only 6,000 to 8,000 residents. And out of that group, 1,000 of them were enslaved Africans. And so some of the African born enslaved people, they convinced the people that were born as enslaved people, using their religion, their faith from Africa, to revolt against the Christians that were enslaving them. And so I didn't get a chance to put that piece in the video because I only get 60 seconds. And they revolted. They did some stuff. Again, I got to be careful for censorship. I can't say, I don't want to have things triggered. But go research that story, and what they did to the ones that revolted was brutal, y'all. One of the people that they punted, who they executed, was a pregnant woman. Well, they waited till she had the baby because the baby was worth something. But you research that story. But the thing is they were able to come together because of that. But this is the part I wanted to share. After that, after the governor summons the militia to stop the revolt, they put in stricter slave codes. And these codes were designed to make manumission harder, as well as they stopped you if you were in groups of 3. I think you could meet with 2 people, but if you were 3 people, 3 enslaved people could no longer gather together. They were trying to stop us. And this is what I see today. They don't want us walking in unity. They don't want us, look at the songs with Meg the Stallion and the other one fighting. The algorithm pushed those songs to the front. That promotes even more of this stuff, y'all. That promotes more of us being against each other, fighting each other. When you look at the music, people always, oh, well, the music is terrible. Who's at the head of the record labels? It's not us. In most of these cases, it's them. They're at the head of these record labels. And so they're profiting off of our pain. They're profiting off of our lack of knowledge. They've always profited off of our talent. And we have to wake up and see this, you know? And I'm going to share this until they kick me off and say, hey, you can't be here no more. I'm going to continue to share history. I'm going to continue to tell people to homeschool their kids. I'm going to encourage people to buy land. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to continue to tell people to buy land. And leave a legacy for their children. Also, in that land seminar that we did this week, we were teaching people how to protect their land. Because y'all, right now, with a lot of the rural land, the majority of the land that we own as African Americans, it's heirs property. It's heirs property, including my own grandmother. My grandmother in Georgia, who passed away about 16 years ago, her land right now is heirs property. And all of her children have gotten up in age, and some of her children, my uncles, have passed away. I wonder what's going to happen to that land because a lot of times in our families they're fighting. Oh, well, you just want to take over and you just want to take this and you just want to. We got to talk about this stuff now, y'all. Don't wait until some family member pass away. If you got a family member that owns something, please encourage them to go get a living trust. Encourage them to get a living trust, y'all, because it's have you guys saw the Silver Dollar Road documentary? It's on Prime. The Silver Dollar Road. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know why I'm saying this and how the developers tricked one of the family members into, I don't think he tricked them. I think they had a fake deed. They had a phony deed. One of the family members who never lived on the land, I think it was that prime property in North Carolina on the beach. Is it what's the name of it? Hilton Head? I don't know. But one of the family members that never lived there was from up north, sold off the beachfront part to a developer, and they had some type of bogus deed. And they're still fighting for that land. And one of the family members spent years in jail. You got to watch that if you haven't watched the Silver Dollar Road documentary, and you'll see why we need to have a living trust. Yeah, a will is not the greatest thing. A will can be contested. Trust cannot be contested. A will can be contested. And sometimes people produce multiple copies of wills. Did y'all see what happened with Aretha Franklin? They had so many copies of a will. You know how much money it costs to go to court? It costs your family money to go to court to talk about the will. And so they actually had to hire a handwriting expert. The queen, y'all, the queen of soul, didn't have a trust. She had a handwritten will, which they determined the one that was found in her couch was the most recent one. But they had to hire a handwriting expert to make sure it was hers. But the family was in court battling over the will. And all of this can be prevented with the trust, y'all, with the living trust. So we talk about that in that land class as well. It's important, y'all. Talk to an attorney that specializes in that. It costs us around $4,000 with everything, with about $4,000. But it's worth it because then you can put a person to execute that will in the event that something happens to you. The person that's going to be in charge of, I mean, not the will, the executor over the estate. You can also say what you want your grandchildren to have. And so when you have a living trust, you then put everything you own in that living trust. You can put your mortgage in there too. That's a question we get a lot. Can I put my house if I'm still paying a mortgage? Yes, you can. You can even put your house that you have a mortgage into the trust, and then everything is owned by the trust. Now, if you have a mortgage, of course, you're going to have that lien on it, until you pay it off. But yeah, I think it's important. The New York Revolt is just it's just type in the New York Revolt 1712. 1712. If you just type that in Google, it'll come up. It happened on today, April 6th. Some historians say that it happened on the 7th. Some people said it happened on the 6th, that night, April 6th. So it's been debated on between the 6th and the 7th. But yeah, the New York revolt, that was some African born slaves that, came straight from the motherland. And they were telling the enslaved people over here that were born here, like, look, we about to get up out of here. Let's you know, it reminds me of, just so many of our people in history. Nat Turner, and how he had a revelation from God. He said he had a vision. He said he had a vision from God to revolt, and he waited for signs. And I think it was the eclipse. It was an actual eclipse. Come in, baby. Come on. She can come. Come on. Come on. She can come in, Reg. That's my toddler, y'all. Let her come in because it's just getting even louder. I'm on live on YouTube. Come on. Come on in, babe. My little one there. So, yeah. Uh, what name of the revolt? Hey, babe. Hi, sweetie. I'm on live. You wanted to come in? Yeah. Okay. I agree, but wills are what most of our people have because they didn't know about trust. Yeah, it's just that the will can be contested, but the trust is definitely solid. When you have a trust, everything is in that trust. It's a done deal, baby. Ain't nobody contesting that. Ain't no developer coming in trying to take that. Yeah, so I encourage people to get. Did y'all hear about what happened in Atlanta? Did y'all hear about what happened in Atlanta last week? Was it last week or week before? I posted it on Instagram about the couple that had their deed stolen. They had their house is paid off, and someone stole their deed, changed the name on the deed, and that house got stolen from them, and then the cops came and made them get out of their house. That's in Atlanta. That was crazy. I think what happened is they took the deed out of their name because they said in a lot of places you don't even have to show ID. Someone went there and changed the deed. Why they didn't know that when the property tax bill came, I don't. When they didn't get the property tax bill, that probably should have alerted them, because if they changed the deed, then the property taxes should have been changed. But this was another reason why I say you need a trust. You have to have that house in a trust. And that elderly couple, they actually locked up the husband, and he's like on a walker because he refused to leave the house. So the deed got changed, and then I think someone put a mortgage on the house, and then they let the house foreclose, and then so the person who brought the house in the foreclosure came and kicked the homeowners out. It research that story out of Atlanta. I was just like, this is crazy. Hopefully the Stone Mountain mayor, who I believe is a black woman or man, I can't remember, but hopefully somebody was able to do something. They said they were going to be sleeping in their car. So yeah, I think it's important. Hi, Auntie. Yes, you can call me Auntie. I love you and your content. Thank you. Thank you guys for following me over here. I'm so happy to be here. I know it's going to take a while to build up an audience here. And sometimes I look at that and I'm like, "Ah, do I really want to do that?" Like, but I know it's important. It's important because they could pull the rug from under you at any time. So it's important for me to start building over here in the event that they pull the plug on me over there. And then everybody going to be looking for me. And so at least I'll already have built something somewhere else, because you just never know. Like they own everything, y'all. They own social media. We're just using space here. Hilton Head. Yeah. Yeah, the deed thing is something that we all should look at if you don't have a trust. Like we have a trust, so we're not worried about the deed still someone stealing our deed. I mean changing the name on the deed. I think there's something called a deed lock where you could be notified if someone tried to change your deed. But just get a trust, y'all. Look into, start researching a living trust, because that would have prevented that. Because once you have your house and your land and whatever else you own inside of that trust, even your business, once that stuff is inside of there, nobody can take it. No one can come in and steal anything, or no developer can come and try to, put a false deed in place, because that's happening all over the country, y'all. And it's happened all through history. In the early in 1900s, we had more land back then. Did y'all know that? We had more land back then than we own now. They said we only own about 1% of rural land. And all of this was because one of the largest lawsuits in history, in US history, was the USDA discriminating against black farmers, where they were not giving black farmers loans that they were giving to white farmers. So there's a lot of, articles out there where black farmers were refused loans. And so they found out the USDA was discriminating. And that was a very large lawsuit in history. And so they wonder, like, why don't we have more black farmers? And nobody knew the soil like our people. The reason they brought, and I know some of us were already here. We've been all over the world. We were the first people. We were the first people. There's no argument of that. But they brought enslaved Africans from Africa because they were agricultural geniuses. No one knew the soil. No one knew the soil like our ancestors. And so why is it we don't own land? They promised us. This is why we have 46 acres. I told them I didn't want nothing less than 40 acres. So when we purchased the first lot, y'all, the first lot that we purchased here in Montana was 41 acres. Then we added 5, so we have 46 now. But I said I did not want less than 40 acres. Why? Because I had my ancestors looking down. I had my ancestors, the spirit of my ancestors flowing through me. Because they were promised 40 acres with the Freedmen's Bureau. And they reneged on that, right? After Lincoln was assassinated, none of those promises from the Freedmen's Bureau. You guys know what the Freedmen's Bureau is. That was put in place after the war, after the Civil War, to help enslaved people get education and all of that stuff. And they promised us 40. And so we didn't get it. We didn't get the land. Why didn't they give us a land? And they ended up giving the land that they took in the war back to the enslavers. A lot of them got their land back. And some of them, they got reparations. We've never gotten reparations. We never got the land. And you know why? Because what would have happened if we'd have got land? Land equals power. Come on, y'all. Come on. I know I ain't got but 15 people on here, but I don't need a bunch of people on here to teach. What does land mean? Land meant they could feed their families. They could grow food for their community. Come on, y'all. They would be entrepreneurs. They would be, come on, y'all, they would be self-reliant. They didn't want that. They still don't want, come on, y'all. We got 15 people here, but hey, that's okay. I would still teach if there was one person on the line. Yo, they did not want us to better ourselves. So when they laugh at us and say, oh, and y'all ought to do this, and they don't want us to. I'm going to tell you why. Let's bring it here 2024. Attacks on DEI. What happened last year? Supreme Court ruling where Trump put in the justices. What did he put in? Like 3 justices? They ruled. Everybody talking about Trump. Trump did all the damage. He did the most damage when he put the justices in place. They keep those seats, y'all, for to the rest of most of them to the rest of their lives. Or they just can't do it, incapacitated or something. They ruled, they didn't want us, they did not want us to get student loan relief. Now, if this is a people that knew history, that was remorseful for what happened to African Americans, why would they rule against? And we know Biden was able to bypass it anyway, and a lot of people got student loan relief. I'm glad. But they didn't want that because they knew the majority of the people who have student loans are Black women. Black women hold the most degrees in the country, you know? So when you look at that, then the affirmative action thing, y'all. Then the attack on Black history. You have Moms for Liberty groups going into these white housewives are coming out of the suburbs, y'all. They putting the lattes down and they're getting on the campaign trail, y'all. They're driving their fancy SUVs to school board meetings now. And some of them kids don't even go to school. Some of these people that are on the school board that are Mom for Liberty backed, they don't even they don't need the kids, they're homeschooling them. Which is nothing against, hey, I love homeschooling. But I don't homeschool for the same reasons they homeschool. Don't ever get that mixed up. When you homeschool, people that look like me do not homeschool for the same reasons as these people do. They homeschool because they don't want their kids in school with kids that look like my kids. And think about what's happening in North Carolina with the superintendent race right now. There is a race for the person to be over the superintendent of instruction. The woman who's running that won the Republican seat going up against the Democrat this fall, she homeschools. Why is she going to be over the schools in North Carolina? Then she tweeted that she would love to see President Obama unalived. She said she would pay for pay-per-view to watch him be unalived. Why is she? See what I'm saying? So y'all, it's an awakening. It's an awakening for us. We can't be out here fighting over nonsense. You know what I'm saying? There is so much work. We ought to be starting our own groups. We ought to have our counter groups. They got Moms for Liberty. I've said this for the last few years. We ought to have Moms for Freedom. Oh no, Moms for Truth. Moms for Truth. We ought to have our own groups out there. You know, and I'm gonna go deeper on that. I'm gonna do more lives on here so that I could go deeper. Y'all turn on the notifications, go to my thing. I don't know if there's a way you could be notified when I go live, but you can turn on your notifications. But I'm gonna talk more about that. You know, why are we not, and it goes back to our churches, the Black churches are not doing enough. You know, ever since that thing, what was it with Bush? What was it called? The FBI initiative, what is it? Something initiative. The acronyms are like FBI. The churches are able to get some type of federal money. Ever since then, they've been quiet. They have not been relevant. Black churches have not been relevant since then. Black churches were the place that Dr. King used to get everybody on board to not ride buses. The bus boycott, y'all. You know, nothing will, these people won't ever do anything for us unless it's related, it hits them in their wallet. We almost bankrupt them. They were bankrupt, you know, from the bus boycott. Businesses were not being, you know, we were not getting downtown to patronize their businesses. They were hurting. So that's when they said, okay, let's listen to them now. Let's make some changes now. And they know, like today, we're just self-destructing, y'all, at this point. We're mad at each other. We're fighting each other. We're doing things to hurt each other. We're not building together. We need leaders. We need leaders that their goal is not just to make money. You know, people now is just wanting to be famous and seen, you know. We need real leaders in our community. Let me see if I can read, catch up. Um, hey, mama. Living trust, yeah. They won't remove squatters, but I know, right? But they're removing homeowners. I think it was Hilton Head. Yeah. Moms for Truth. All right, now I like that. Moms for Truth. Let's start it. We need to start that Moms for Truth group to counter them, because you know they don't know no scripture. They be up there talking. You say scripture to these people. I've done it so many times here. These people that are supposed to be super conservative, I'll quote a scripture and I'll wait on them to finish it, and they're like they never heard it. What was that, Rachel? Raya, pick that up. Um, I would quote a scripture and wait for them to finish it. I'm like, you know this scripture that says, and they'd be like, oh, I never heard that. Yeah. Thanks, mommy. Put it over there on the thing for me. Thank you. Thank you, baby. I'm from North Carolina too. Yeah. I don't know about us having, I think some of us had buses, but what it was a lot of us was walking. We said we were not going to ride the bus, and we were like the people who had cars, we were riding in each other's cars. But it sent a message to them. It on it, you know, dang near bankrupt them. And so from there, that's when they were willing to listen and see if we could do that. Like if we could get off these platforms that are censoring us, and all of these big creators that have a big following say, hey, we're exiting because of what you're how you're censoring us, they would then listen. But we're not going anywhere. We won't go. You know what I'm saying? Like people told me about the other platforms to check out. I think the one that's the black owned by I think Isaac Hayes' grandson. I'm gonna check that one out. But you know, I'm gonna do my part and see what I can do to make that exodus. But they know we're not doing anything. So yeah. Yeah, that one. She said, "Don't start me on that one from North Carolina for school to." I know, and she don't even. I think that is a conflict of interest. A conflict of interest when you do not have kids in school. You don't even like the school system. You don't. That's like me. I'm a homeschooling mom. Been a homeschooling mom for 15 years. Why in the world would I go and run for a school board position here when somebody could take that position that actually really believes in the system and want to fight in that system to make it better or whatever they do? That's not my interest. I'm homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? And if my kids are not in the system, why do I feel qualified? This is a thing. Like anybody could be elected. Anybody could be elected to do these things, you know? And she was, and you know, you guys, she was at the January 6th insurrection. She not only said what she said about Obama, she wanted to see him on a line. What she said about him, she was at the January 6th insurrection. You know, yeah, yep, she's running against the brother. Yeah, yeah. I gotta put more videos out to remind people that vote, 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 vote. Get your cousins, get them registered. The ones that ain't voting, I got a lot of family that ain't registered to vote. You know, a lot of people I know that are not, you know, from back home. You know, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how you do this thing, y'all. I need to schedule another live too. I think you can schedule lives here. I'm gonna try to do more lives over here, y'all. Netflix remote and oh man, don't get me started about that good times nonsense. Oh my God, they talking about the baby that's selling narcotics and it's crazy. Yeah, the stereotypes. What is that, mommy? Put that up for me, baby. Put that up. She's over here messing with my doll collection, y'all. So, oh, it's supposed to come out on the 12th? Ooh. I gotta do a video to remind people not to watch that. So it doesn't get the ratings. If it doesn't get the ratings, then you know it's not gonna last on TV. You know. Thank you for that reminder. Thanks for that reminder. Yeah, religious people that don't believe in voting. Yeah. Yeah, she found my dolls. I'll show y'all. I don't know. Does it let me turn the camera around? Let me see. That's her down there with my collection. Ah. Yeah, you got to put all mommy's stuff up now. We got to clean up now. No. No. Yes, ma'am. You have your own toys. You have your own dolls. Yeah. Hmm? I know. So many dolls. Yeah. Yeah. Someone said they're at work listening. Oh, well, thank you for hanging out with me on this Saturday. It's been great hanging out with you guys too. I'm gonna do more of this because I gotta start building over here on YouTube now. They'll lie and say it led the ratings away, like Oprah Winfrey, her handlers tried to do with Color Purple. Folks argued me down then when I said nobody wanted to see that mess on Christmas. I haven't even seen that yet. I haven't even seen it yet. Rumble is a great platform with less censorship. With StreamYard, people stream on multiple platforms at once. Wow, I got to check that out. I got to figure that out too. I really need to figure that out. Such a sweetheart. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen Color Purple. I wasn't led to watch that. I don't watch everything, y'all. I can't put everything in my spirit like that. What, baby? Bye, baby. I can't watch everything. I'm mostly into documentaries and stuff like learning, just learning more stuff, more information, but I can't watch everything. I don't even know what it's about. It's supposed to be I'm not into musicals, so maybe that's why I don't really like musicals like that. I didn't go see Color Purple. The first one was good. Yeah, I saw that one when I was younger. Maybe it was a teenager or something when that came out. Yeah, I don't watch all that stuff, y'all. It has to have a purpose for me. Like, my husband and all them be watching the Captain America, Spider Man. I'd be like, I ain't into all that. I'm sure it's entertaining to people, but I think some of us just have like a different mission in life. Like you just want things that reflect your mission. And any free time I get, I want to read, I want to crochet. I've been doing embroidery, y'all. Been embroidering today. I've been working on this, putting some letters on a sweater with embroidery and my doll collection. I'm always searching for new vintage dolls. So in between putting out videos here on social media, but I don't have a lot of time for videos like that. People will cover new stories with StreamYard recurrent events. Let me write that down. Let me see if I can find a pen. StreamYard, and then the other one that you were talking about, Rumble. I gotta really look at that. Yeah. You are so talented. Thank you. Thank you. I teach myself. I'm always learning new things. Like I'm gonna always like teach myself to do new things. Push myself to learn new things, Um I've just always been like that, you know. I always wanted to study and learn things and when didn't know anything about being an entrepreneur, I read books. I studied, researched. And I did it, you know, I did it, y'all. I went back to school as a single mom. I was a single mama and struggling financially. And I said, I got to go back to school. Went back, became a nurse, studied hard, used to sit up at night studying when everybody else was asleep. And I said, I got to pass because the nursing program was so competitive that if you failed one test, they would kick you out. You couldn't move on. And so I had to pass every test, So then I went to take boards and I passed my boards on the first try and worked in nursing. And I saw, shoot, hey, you need to own the job. You can't just work for a paycheck. So I learned that I needed to be an entrepreneur. I learned that from my clients. I learned it from a lot of my clients that were not even of my faith. I started studying them. I learned how to study people. And what I learned from a lot of my wealthy patients that I took care of in their homes as a nurse, like going out to do wound care and all that stuff, a lot of them were entrepreneurs. They were retired. And I'm like, the light bulb went off. Like, why am I clocking in? I need to own the job. So that's what I did. I studied entrepreneurship by reading about other entrepreneurs. I didn't have a degree in that, and I did it, y'all. And it it was amazing. It was amazing, and I became a job creator for you know thousands of women that look like me, in my community, and that's a great feeling. That's a really great feeling. So I've always taught myself things, and crocheting and embroidery and sewing. I got my sewing machine over here to my left. Quilting, I've been teaching myself quilting. And my mother recently told me, she's like, your grandmother was like an excellent crocheter, and she was a quilter that she won an award for her quilts. I'm like, I never knew that. She's like, yeah, your late grandmother and even her mother was a quilter. And I'm like, what? That just really touched me. I'm like, oh, that's the ancestors. That's the ancestors. But you know what, too, y'all? When you get free, when you get free and you can explore all of those talents, that's why I want so much for us to be free. Because you have so many other things that are going to flow from you. So that's what I hope to talk more about, in days to come, weeks to come, Lord willing, years to come. I want to encourage freedom. That's actually the shirt that I'm working on, y'all. It's gonna say freedom. This sweatshirt. And underneath here is I actually have some Wakanda fabric underneath here that I'm gonna cut out. I'll show it. I'll put it on here too. I'm gonna do a short and show y'all what I've been working on. But I have some beautiful fabric underneath that. But it says freedom. My sweater says freedom. So that'll just be, the things that I'll talk about here. And I'll get Reggie on here too. Sometimes when Reggie is, me and him can be on here together and he can talk about financial freedom. He's definitely the brains behind how we got, glory to the most high, but how we got to be where we are thus far is the knowledge he walks in with finances. And even in our business would not be where it is today without his knowledge of numbers and administration that he flows in, excellence. And but yeah, freedom, y'all. When we get free, we have the freedom to express ourselves, to be a blessing to other people, to share what we've learned on our journeys. So this is why I think, it's tougher for us because we have so many shackles, so many things, financial things, things that have been passed down that we have to go through, we work through, and it's a cycle. And until you get the knowledge and break that cycle, it just repeats. It repeats, So hopefully that's what I could bring here, you know. Um, oh, thank you guys. I didn't know that. See, I'm learning. She said if you click the like button, it helps the algorithm. Thank you. I didn't know that, y'all. I see I had 9 likes. I'm like, what does that mean? I didn't know that you could like here, but I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna get better here, and hopefully I'll be able to learn the system. That's amazing. Yeah. All right. Let me remove this person. Hide user on this channel. I'm gonna hide them, but I also want to remove them. How do I do that? Okay, and then he was removed. Okay. Okay, so I think this person was trolling me and him in here, so I just had him removed. Okay, you can report them too. Okay. You brought an acre. Yay! I'm so excited. You could do a lot with an acre. We had an acre and a half in Florida, and that was a pretty big for Florida. That was big, you know. We had an avocado tree. I missed that avocado tree. No, not avocado, mango. Mango. I miss our mango tree. It produced every year around this time. March, April, yeah. Big, beautiful mangoes. People from the neighborhood would stop and ask could they take some. But you could do a lot on an acre. You could do a lot. So congratulations to you. Um, congrats to you for getting that acre of land. You could grow on that acre. You could do a lot there. You could do a lot on a fourth if you're growing food and stuff. Even on a quarter of an acre, half an acre. You have an acre, so that's amazing. So proud of you, Diana. Yeah. Unfortunately, they simply make new accounts and come back into your lives. Why though? That's so weird to me. Like, who would do that? I don't know. People have a lot of time on their hands, huh? They say misery loves company. Like, when you think about life, y'all, and so many people leaving here, so many people didn't wake up this morning. Like, you don't want to spend your time hurting or trying to hurt other people. You want to be a blessing to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want people to stand up at your funeral or your memorial and say, this person encouraged me. This person was a blessing. And there are just some people that are just so miserable that they don't have nothing else to do. They couldn't go read a book. They couldn't go take a walk outside and look at nature. They can't like take up a hobby like sewing or crocheting. Like, there's so much I could do with free time. Like, I would be sometimes like, man, if I had more time in the day. And so that's why I sit up late at night, because once the kids go to bed, I can actually I could craft. But I would never think to open up troll accounts so I could say something mean to somebody. Like, yeah, we gonna pray for them. They need help. They need some help. They need some divine help. You know what we need to do, y'all? When they come into my lives, we need to just start praying. I bet you they'll skadoodle so fast. We just start praying, and we start praying for them, and I bet you they'll skadoodle so fast. And we just start praying for them. We call out their little fake username and say, Lord, we just pray for this person. Because I don't understand how anybody would have that type of time. I was starting to get that a lot on Instagram. I was like, where are these people coming from? Like, I guess they're starting to let random people come into your life that don't follow your page now. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird. But I'm gonna also do a moderator. So if any of you guys are on my lives and want to be a moderator, I can make you a moderator as well. So Do I have any for financial freedom? Yeah, Reggie, I would definitely love to bring Reggie in on a live so we can talk about that. If he has time tomorrow, him and I will go live here tomorrow and talk about financial freedom just for you. We'll do that, and we'll talk about steps on how you can do that. But I'm getting ready to talk with my subscribers on IG tomorrow, so we'll be live tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if you're on IG, but we have subscribers there, and tomorrow is the day that we meet with them at, I think, 7 p.m. Eastern. I think 7 Eastern, or is it 5 Eastern? I'll have to check, but I'll be live with them tomorrow too. And so people get to ask us questions on Zoom, and they actually get to, show their face if they want and talk or just type questions in. But yeah, we'll try to go live here tomorrow to talk about that, to financial freedom, to chat more about that. So you said you're willing to be a moderator. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what I'll do is I'll try to schedule some lives so you'll know when I'm live, and if you're able to get on, if it works for your schedule, then you could be my moderator. So I don't have to be distracted, because sometimes when I'm just talking, I don't want to read comments because it distracts me from what I'm trying to say. I like to catch up on the comments, once I get the point out, and then I'll go back and read. Um, but yeah, I definitely need a moderator. You're welcome. You're welcome, T. Craig. We're going to talk about financial freedom and the steps on how to get there. Yeah, it's truly annoying when we're focused on important things. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being live with me. I don't know how to end this. Is it the little, tell me if is it the X in the top left corner? I don't want to miss something. I'm trying to see. I see some dots. Oh, there's a share button. I think it may be the X. There's a add. Oh, there's a poll button. Y'all, this is like really my first live. I did one some years ago. I did a live years ago, but this is really the second time I've been live. So on YouTube. So I'm learning. But thank y'all so much. I'm so happy that you guys came and that you were part of this, because I really thought it was just going to be me talking. I was like, it's probably going to be me and maybe one person will come. But you guys came and made this hour session really great. So I'll try to go live tomorrow with Reggie. I'll try to pull Reggie in for about 20 minutes and see if he can talk just about financial freedom. So, and I'll try to encourage more of my IG people to come over, over to this side. But yeah, I think if I start spending more time here, they'll probably say, "Where is she? Let me look for her over there." So we'll definitely do that. Thank you. Appreciate you, sister. It was a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. You want to build a homestead? I'm excited. Yes, 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 yes. We can talk more about homesteading. Homesteading, homeschooling, history. Those are all my things. The 3 H's. I need to come up with a name. History, homesteading, homeschooling. 3H, you know. And then injustices. I do use my platform to call out injustices. So I do that too. So, which is why they told me I can't be monetized, because I talk about injustices. But oh well. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow if you are available on here to live tomorrow. You're a homeschooling mom, Rhea? I didn't know that. Awesome. I need to follow your page. Let me see if it'll let me follow you from here. I'm going to figure this out. Love you too. Gambling Queen. Why don't it let me, it won't let me follow people from here. That's weird. I'm going to try to follow you too. Yeah. No, let me see. 5 tomorrow, I'll be on with the subscribers. It'll probably be a little later. Probably once we get off with the subscribers. Then we'll hop on here. and we'll talk about some financial freedom. I'm going to schedule it. They got a little schedule button over here. Let me see what that does. I'm probably going to mess up. Highlight it, save. Oh, Lord, I done did something. I don't know what I did, y'all. I don't know. You know what? I done hit buttons. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm. Let me get off this thing before I be done deleted something. That's weird. Oh, you got your notifications turned on. Awesome. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.